Hello everyone, hello, Chocolo Roberto here for another video review. It's the new Nestle bakery inspired editions. Yes, we got, well, let's see what we got. Aero Melts Double Chocolate Brownie. We have Munchies Vanilla Cheesecake. And finally, but no means leastly, we have Milkybar Crispy Cookie. Yes, a very nice range of products here. I got all these in Sainsbury's, so you might be able to get them somewhere else. I think I got them all in Sainsbury's anyway, at least a couple of them. I think all three of them really, but yeah. So there we go. So very interesting. Looks very nice, isn't it? Nice looking set. That good for the thumbnail. That, although I probably won't be able to crop that because of my hands and stuff. But nonetheless, there we go. So I'm going to review these all at once, basically, because I've just got so much stuff in the pile in the stash to review. It's just getting ridiculous, really. So I've got to, make some concessions, I think. And to be honest with you, you probably prefer me reviewing them all at once, get them out of the way quickly, and it means I can get them to you quicker as well. So hopefully everyone's a winner. Hopefully. All right, so let's have a quick look at them. So Munchies, as you don't know, typical Munchies basically have caramel rather than the vanilla cheesecake sort of surround here. Which is a bit of a shame. I always say the main problem with Munchies limited edition ones is that they always remove the caramel, and the caramel's probably the best part of it. Because obviously they got the biscuit part in the middle, and I guess you can kind of say a cheesecake has biscuit at the bottom, on the base of it, digestive biscuit or whatever, crushed into pieces. So it kind of probably works, but it's just, I don't know, will it be as good? Because basically, whenever they've just changed the sort of the middle to have a flavouring, they've done it before in almost all the different limited editions of Munchies. I think they had a brownie one, and like brownie, for instance. Why not change the biscuit in the middle to brownie? But this one kind of makes sense at least. But will it be any good? We'll see. Rainforest Alliance certified cocoa. And we've got 165 calories per serving. 7 sweets is a serving. Yeah, there we are. There's some calories there. Percent sweets. We'll look on the back for more information on that. They love to share, so it's meant to be a share bag, of course, with others, with a movie, as a treat. All right. There you go. We've got all this stuff about Nestle Cocoa Plan. All right. Cocoa farmers trained to improve agricultural practices, cocoa communities by helping empower women and educate children in the environment. Alright, so reforestation and projects to help mitigate climate change. Alright, so all this stuff sounds great, but look into it if it's important to you, because obviously, are they really doing much good? Does it make any difference? This, that, and the other. Hopefully it does. It sounds like it, doesn't it? But of course, if it didn't produce cocoa in the first place, would that be better for deforestation, this, that, and the other? But then would it supply jobs for people? I don't know. Interesting, things like this. So yes, interesting. All right. So 400 grams, 134 calories, 29.7 grams of fat, 16.1 of which are saturates per portion, 7 sweets, 165 calories, 9.1 grams of fat, 5 of which are saturates. There we go. And it's what's the weightage of the bag? Does it say? 97 grams. So it's just under 100 there. So basically, that per 100 grams is roughly it. The bag contains approximately 3 servings. I've got the recycle information here. It's another example of what annoys me. In the UK, you have to recycle at a supermarket. You can't recycle at home. But in the Republic of Ireland, you can recycle at home. So why can't you in the UK? All right, get in touch if you're not happy. Stuff like that. Storage device important, quite small. So not suitable for children under 4 years. Or at least you have to be careful anyway. Right, here's the ingredients. Milk chocolates with cheesecake flavour filling, 33.8%, and a crisp biscuit centre, 9.5%. Milk chocolate contains cocoa solids, 25% minimum, milk solids, 40% minimum, and vegetable fats in addition to cocoa butter. It's got palm fat in there. So you're going to bother about the environment, stuff like that. Why are they using palm fats? Stuff like this. Right, and there's some other stuff there as well. Alright, so I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll move on to one of the others now, and then we'll move down and open them all at once. This, that, and the other. So let's have a look at the Milkybar Crispy Cookie then, shall we? So, Choc biscuit pieces, it says. Alright. Interesting. Okay, got the 155 calories per serving. 12 pieces, 1 serving. Got the same stuff on here, or at least not as elaborate, but it's basically saying about the cocoa plan. So, it's not mentioning about empowering women this time, things like this. But presumably it still does that. But I don't know. I don't mention it. Alright, so 400 grams, 539 calories, 30.2 grams of fat, 80.3 of which are saturates, so per 12 pieces, which is 1 serving. 155 calories, 8.7 grams of fat, 5.3 of which are saturates. Contains approximately 3 servings. Okay, and so the weightage, 86 grams. Alright, ingredients, white chocolate pieces with crispy cocoa flavoured rice inclusions, 4%. Right, so it's not actually biscuit then. Yeah, I seem to remember Andrew Winton in one of the chats saying, it's not actually biscuit, and it's, and it's not. That's crazy, isn't it? So it's rice inclusion, it's not biscuit, and it specifically says Choc biscuit pieces. So that seems really, I don't know, a bit dodgy, doesn't it? So there's the rest of the ingredients there. Palm fat in there again. That's it. Right, not suitable for children under 4, or at least you have to be careful. Suitable for vegetarians. And again, the recycle stuff again. You can recycle it at home with Republic of Ireland. Get in touch if you're not happy. Right, with others, with a movie as a treat. It's a share pack again, apparently. Right, there we go. And the tear here. There. Alright. Assuming Munchies suitable for vegetarians. Yeah, I can't see anything saying suit vegetarians here. I assume they are, but yeah, I don't know. It doesn't say specifically, so I'm not sure. Be wary of that. Maybe not suit vegetarians. I can't see anything that suggests it's not suit vegetarians, but there's nothing on it that I can see that says suit vegetarians on it, so bear that in mind. Okay, and then finally, let's have a look. Aero Melts, yes. Double choc brownie. So is it really just, well, I was going to say white chocolate and milk chocolate, but it won't be white chocolate. Aero Melts, white ones are always, you know, what do they call it? Well, we'll see what it'll say on the back in a minute, actually. But yes, 160 calories per serving, 15 pieces per serving. Rainforest Science served by Cocoa again. Another shenanigan going on here. So now it's talking about the cocoa plant in a different way this time. In partnership with the Rainforest Alliance, this means building bright futures for cocoa farmers and their communities. Delicious bubbly treats for you. Alright, so let's just have a look at the ingredients then. Assortment of smooth bubbly brownie flavour milk chocolate and brownie flavour white confectionery pieces. There we go, so it's not white chocolate. Milk chocolate taste, cocoa size 25% minimum, milk size 40% minimum, vegetable fats in addition to cocoa butter. There we go. It's got palm fat in there again. Not a few ingredients in this one, it seems. Puncture and a fork have difficulty chewing, so again, let's be careful there. Right, get instruction happy. It's 6 grams for vegetarians again. So quite prominent on this one, but I'd say not prominent on the Munchies. Well, it's not there at all that I can see. So you can only, again, recycle at home and public garment, you can't in the UK. Why is that? Calories, 400 grams, 533 calories, 29.3 grams of fat, 17.1 of which are saturates, and per 15 pieces, one portion, 160 calories, 8.8 grams of fat, 5.1 of which are saturates. And the bag contains approximately 3 servings. Okay, touch not happy, stuff like that. Alright, so there we go. Yeah, so interesting. So strange how say Munchies doesn't mention being suited for vegetarians when all the others clearly do. I could have missed it, but you know, there's various bits where, you know, these bits are the bits that stand out. These are like cartouches or whatever. That's the right term. But yeah, but I can't see anything that says suited for vegetarians, so I have to assume it isn't. But I can't see anything that on there that you know suggests otherwise. So let me know if you can spot anything that this focus is in that might be suggestive of it not being suitable for vegetarians. But yeah, I can't see anything on there myself. There we go. Maybe I've just missed the message where it says suited for vegetarians, which I could have done. Could be some in a really small place on this pack for some reason, but there we go. Alright, let's move stuff down, give them an open, see what they all look like on the inside, so let's do just that. Okay everyone, okay, we're going to have these, yes, these Nestle bakery inspired various limited editions of Munchies, Milkybar and Aero Melts and open, and why not? So, yeah, well, Milkybar, is it? Well, Milkybar buttons, I guess you'd say really, but actual Milkybars, but there we go. So, let's see, well, let's open, we'll do the Munchies last, I think. Because we get a bit more involved in the ones. These are just basically buttons, aren't they, really? So, we've got them open. Alright, so pour them all out, see what the distribution's like. I'm hoping for a similar number of, like, it's not white chocolate, white confectionery, whatever it's called, and milk chocolate. So, smell quite nice, actually. They do smell quite, I don't think I should say cakey brownie, I guess. So, quite bitty. Bits are broken off and stuff. So let's have a see what have we got. What's the difference here? Let's have a look. The just from first glance, or first feel, or whatever, the brown ones do seem to be a bit smaller, milk chocolate ones, and they seem to be a bit taller. So I don't know if they're just completely made differently. Or it's just a bit of a, don't know, bad luck. I'm not sure, but well, some of them, yeah, some of the white ones now are a bit thinner and taller, so it might just be how long they've been left to squidge out a bit. Right, so distribution seems reasonable. Let's have a see. We can split into groups of 5. It's easy to count then, doesn't it? At least for me it does. Alright, so you can see 5, 10, 15, 20, 23 and a bit. Alright. Do the same here. So we'll perhaps count that as 1 maybe, I don't know. Alright, so 5, 10, 15, 20. We could say 20 and a bit maybe. This one's not quite, I mean, it's, you know, that's a bit like Pac-Man, isn't it? It's not quite, it's almost 1 really. This is definitely half of 1. So yeah, so, alright, so we've definitely got more of the white confectionery pieces than the milk chocolate ones, but to be honest with you, it's quite close, isn't it? It's quite close. Alright, so let's try and give them a bit of a measure for what it's worth. They're all random sizes, to be honest with you. This one's probably the biggest one here. These ones, so about 3.2 the height, centimeters, about 7 millimeters. Alright, and the biggest one of the brown ones. Well, the brown ones are more consistently sized, I think you'd say. Okay, roughly 2.4 centimetres. And height, about 6-7 millimetres again. But, yeah. Alright. So it can depend, I think you'd say. Okay, but for what it's worth, anyway, there we go. Alright, so you can see on the inside here, this broke off earlier. Easy to see the bubbles in the milk chocolate ones, but you can just about see them in the white confectionery ones as well. There we go. Yeah. Let's have a bit of a what could be described as a brownie smell, maybe, but not massively so, but maybe slightly. Yeah, maybe slightly. All right, so what we'll do is move these away. We'll do the what's it McCall's next. Milkybar crispy cookies. So as you can see, the problem with these is the bits of a lot of milk chocolate pieces are crumbs from the other ones. I guess these ones have got a bit of white confectionery bits on there as well. Alright, so let's give these Milkybar crispy cookies an open. Okay. There we go. So again, take them all the way to the top as always with these things. And we've got in here. Okay. Smells quite creamy in the bag. So again, not massively dissimilar to the the Aero melts, do they really, in first appearance, but obviously these are more solid chocolate rather than aerated chocolate. Alright, so let's see what we've got in these ones. Get to the bottom there, so I might just put them on the side to make it rows of 6. Get easier. Alright, so we've got an extra 4. So 6, 12, 18, 20, 30, 34. Alright, okay. So there we got 34. So I guess in the Aero melts we had, what was it, 40 something, didn't we, in total? A bit less than those. What's the weightage? They both weigh 86 grams though, so there we are, apparently. Alright, so there we go, still pretty good. These don't they? Obviously a bit more uniform than the Aero melts, like you see, between they've got their different colours, I guess, maybe produced differently. Okay, let's give them a rough measure. This one's a bit knobbly on the side, not a perfect circle or whatever. Right, 2.8 centimetres there. And the height, around 4 millimetres, 4.5 almost. Okay, there we go. Well, let's give a bit of a snap so it's like on the inside. Yeah, so you can see lots of little pieces there. It's rice inclusions though, it said, didn't it? So a bit disappointing that. With crispy cocoa flavoured rice inclusions, so it's basically chocolate Rice Krispie pieces really. You can see there they do look a bit don't look like biscuit pieces, do they? They're just the shade of brown is just a bit odd. Doesn't look too bad on the outside there, but when you look at it on the inside, you just see, can't you, it's just a bit of a weird brown, shade of brown. Well, let's move these out of the way then. We'll look at the munchies. Why not? Put them back in the bag. Well, I think you'd say you do get plenty of crunchy bits in these. They do seem to be pretty packed, don't they? So that's not bad. They do smell quite creamy as well. A bit of a creamy smell to them. It does say it's white chocolate, it doesn't on the back of these. Just double check. White chocolate pieces. Okay, yeah. Alright then, let's have a look at the munchies then. Okay. There we go. So these ones are, what's the weight of these ones? 97 grams, so they weigh more. Munchies for what it's worth, over 286 grams if you remember correctly. Alright, so let's open. The bag's a bit not too great, if I missed the tear part or whatever. There we go. Alright. Pull them out what's it up against and left in the bag. The bag smells a bit odd. It smells anything special. Maybe just plastic. Alright, so what we've got here. Classic munchies shape. Remember those mint munchies, which are now called After 8 sweets, I think. They used to call mintolas back when I was younger. Mintolas, then mint munchies, then After 8s. And they have this sort of shape as well, as they did do. Maybe they've changed it, but yeah. So 22 here. Not bad. 5, 10, 15, 20, 22. Okay, let's give these a bit of an old measure. What it's worth. Okay. Alright, see the width. 2 centimetres, but spot on. Height 1.2. Okay, obviously they are wider at the bottom and at the top. Get the old measuring stick out just to check what that is. At the top, roughly 1.6 centimeters. All right. Okay. All right, so let's give one a bit of a chop so it's like on the inside. Some of these munchies, remember, don't have a biscuit piece in there, and some of the older ones. But look, that's a massive biscuit piece actually. That's a lot bigger than it used to be. Wow, at least, well, I don't know if they're doing it in all munchies, but that's a lot bigger than it was. And sometimes the biscuit was off centre or it just was missing. You'd have a bag of munchies and some of the munchies didn't have a biscuit piece. Let's chop a couple of them up, and it was pretty prevalent as well. There you go, that's a lot smaller actually. That's a bit more typical. We'll just chop another one. But now they seem to, well, so far 100% success rate, and they're pretty big for the most part. We'll try one more. And in the percentage, well, yeah. Well, they've definitely improved the biscuits in the munchies, that's for sure. As I said, I don't know if they've done it across the board, but they're a lot bigger than they were. Maybe it's cheaper, maybe it's actually saving. It's probably saving them money, have less filling, but nonetheless, that seems to be, I feel it's a good sign though, to be honest with you. I'm not displeased with that, although it's probably done for the wrong reasons, but nonetheless, it's better than just having a lot of them missing. And we'll try one last one. And there you go, yep, it's there again. So not a uniform size, you'll see this one was quite small, but they're definitely there, they're definitely in the centre, and none of them are missing so far. So, alright, well, let's see what all these taste like. Let's find out. Give them a taste. Okay, everyone, okay, we're going to these Nestle bakery inspired treats a taste. We've got Aero Melts, double chocolate brownie, we've got Milkybar crispy cookie buttons, and we've got Munchies vanilla cheesecake. Yes, so the buttons don't actually call themselves buttons, but there we go. Alright. So let's start with. Let's start with the Aero Melt, shall we? So I'll try one of the. So apparently it's brownie flavoured white chocolate. So I guess would you say it's a blondie? I'm not quite sure, but right, let's give it a go. It's all right. I wouldn't say it tastes of brownie by any shape of the imagination. What does it taste like? It tastes of something, It doesn't really taste of white chocolate. It doesn't really taste of brownie. It tastes, I don't know, just like a sort of, maybe like a cheap white chocolate, maybe, that doesn't really taste of white chocolate, Let's try the milk chocolate one. That's what it's like. Flavoured brownie again. It's got the same flavouring. Maybe it tastes a bit more brownie because it's in milk chocolate. You can see what they're trying to get at. It's like a sweet taste, Maybe it does. Let's try them together. One of each together. Now they are not quite the same size, all these, so one of them seems a bit bigger than the other. But let's try them together. See. Maybe that's a secret. I think they work better together. But the white chocolate or white confectionery is quite strong. It does overpower. It does taste a bit. It tastes a bit like a sweet, as in like a candy sweet in some way. That taste you get from like say not like obviously something like rock or something where it's got just a general sweet taste. Not the same consistency, but it's that sort of taste of something sugary and sweet. Yeah, these ones they're okay. They're all right. I think together they're better than individually. You just sort of. I don't know, just seem the milk chocolate ones are probably better than the two, but them together I think work quite well. As long as you've got a decent distribution, which is reasonably the case in this one, almost a 1-to-1, I think you might be alright. But to be honest with you, they're not very good. They don't really taste of brownie yet, I don't think. Maybe if you didn't know if you weren't looking for the brownie flavour, I don't think you'd tell that taste of brownie. And I think the white confectionery pieces ones, they do taste the white confectionery buttons or whatever. Those ones do taste a bit artificial, really. So, I mean, for me, these ones 3 out of 5. They're okay, and they're a bit interesting, but they're just okay. I think they could definitely have done something a bit better. If they did like something like these ones in them, where they've got like sort of a biscuity brownie piece inclusion in them or something, that might work better. But alright, let's try these ones then. The Milkybar crispy cookies. All right, so these ones, hopefully they'll be alright. But as I say, they've got Rice Krispie pieces in them that are flavoured chocolate, so it's not actually biscuit at all. So, alright, let's give it a go. Very small pieces, like crumbs. They look quite small, but they taste even smaller, if that makes sense. Alright, white chocolate's okay. It's a typical Milky Bar, I guess. Let's try doubling them up. I think this is the way you've got to do it to get a bit more of the biscuit experience, but Rice Krispie pieces anyway. They're okay. The white chocolate's fine. It is affected by the milk chocolate coated Rice Krispie pieces or crumbs in there, you know, so it tones back the white chocolate a bit. So, but it does mean you don't get the full white chocolate experience. But nonetheless, it still is white chocolate. It's still nice. I like the crispy pieces. I like crunchy bits of my chocolate. But why is it not actual biscuit pieces? And why not a bit bigger? So, you know, you could argue, well, if they're a bit bigger, it would all fall apart, it wouldn't meld together properly. But, you know, make it so it works, you know. So, yeah, it's okay. The white chocolate's not bad, but I don't think it really stands out as being anything special. The crunchy bits are okay, but again, doesn't really stand out that much. They're just kind of okay. So 3, 3.5, maybe almost a 3.5, but I think I'm still going to say 3 out of 5. They're just a bit of nothing really, you know, not really that special, to be honest with you. All right, well, let's try the vanilla cheesecake munchies. I'm a bit apprehensive about these ones because munchies for me are really nice. I like a sort of one that just works, even though they're pretty basic and been around forever, not too exciting. I just like the combination of caramel, biscuits and chocolate. You know, the chocolate's not the best and this, that and the other as well. But these ones obviously don't have the caramel in there, like a lot of Munchies limited edition ones. I'm assuming these are limited edition anyway. So we'll see. Vanilla, of course, is, you know, very vanilla flavour, so will it work? Will it make up for the lack of caramel? Well, we did notice before that the biscuit pieces consistently were a lot bigger than the have been in Munchies of late, the regular ones. This one I last reviewed them not long ago. I think it was the orange ones, maybe. Could have been a while ago now, I'm actually thinking on, but, you know, maybe a year or something, but, you know, not too long ago. And some of them were missing the biscuit pieces as well, and people in the chat were saying that, you know, they do frequently not have the biscuit pieces in them. So, anyway, let's give this one a go. Let's see what it's like. It's okay. Does it taste like cheesecake? No, it doesn't taste like cheesecake. I mean, cheesecake flavour filling really doesn't taste like cheesecake. Let's give another one a go. I think in this case it probably was the right thing to do to remove the caramel, because I think in this case the biscuit does work to simulate the bottom of a cheesecake, and of course then you want the actual cheesecake, but it doesn't taste of cheesecake at all. It doesn't really even taste of vanilla. I think it's alright. I mean, basically regular munchies are better. The caramel just works a lot better. There's no real flavour here. I mean, I guess by vanilla cheesecake it just means no other flavour. But cheesecake all the same does have a cheesecake flavour, doesn't it? You know, it just tastes of cheesecake. Well, I'm not getting that at all with this. I mean, I guess I'm getting something, but, you know, the chocolate is overpowering, whatever it is. So they're not bad. They're not bad. But again, they're just not really much of anything, you know. So regular munchies are 3.5 or 4. But these ones, yeah, you know, unfortunately, in theory it works this time, removing the caramel. But in practice, they've not replaced it with anything better. It doesn't taste of vanilla. It doesn't taste of cheesecake. It's just a texture. So, yeah, 3 out of 5, I think. 3 out of 5. Disappointing again, really. I mean, still not terrible, you know, still nice, but yeah. So all of these are a bit disappointing, to be honest with you. I mean, the crispy cookie one doesn't have cookie in it. It literally says Choc biscuit pieces, but it's not. You know, that's literally a lie. With cocoa flavoured rice inclusions, that's not biscuit. And the Munchies one's again disappointing. I mean, they don't, you know, there's no vanilla in there. There's no vanilla. Well, I couldn't taste any vanilla, and it doesn't taste of cheesecake. You know, it just says cheesecake flavour filling. So, you know, it doesn't even say vanilla cheesecake flavour filling, does it? And these ones again, these are disappointing. They just don't taste like brownies particularly. It just tastes sweet. And it's not white chocolate on those ones. The distribution was good in these, I guess, between the two different types. But yeah, so overall, a bit of a disappointing range, really. They've done a few of these recently, haven't they, Nestle, and none of them have been that great, to be honest with you. None of them really stood out that much. I'm glad that they're doing it, but I just wish they'd push the boat out a bit more and do something a bit more interesting. You know, it doesn't taste like cheesecake in the Munchies one. There's no biscuit in the cookie one, even despite saying, you know, cookie pieces, and the Aero ones just don't really taste of brownie. You know, they could have put brownie pieces in there, or, you know, I don't know, just anything really. It's just some kind of flavouring that doesn't really work. So disappointing, all these really. They're still nice, you'll still enjoy them, you know, not horrible. 3 out of 5 the average rating really, but they're just not as exciting as they look or sound. So disappointing. So 3 out of 5 across the board, really. Right, guys, well, let me know what you think of these ones. Which is your favourite? What would you like to see in this range if you could? What would you prefer? Could you think of something a bit more interesting? I'm sure you could, really. But yeah, let me know. And what also other Nestle products would you have preferred to see in the range that in this limited edition set of products? Let me know. Leave a comment or free. Always great to hear from you. I always do best to reply. Have a great day. I'll see you next time. Bye for now. See ya.